I remember it like it was yesterday. The day my brother Mark and I formed an unbreakable bond that would shape the course of our lives. We were just kids, but our connection was so strong that it felt like we had known each other for a lifetime. As I sat on the porch steps of our childhood home, engrossed in a book, Mark, 6 years my senior, approached with a mischievous grin.
"Hey Sarah, what you reading?" he asked, peering over my shoulder.
Startled, I looked up and smiled. "It's a mystery novel," I replied, showing him the cover. "You should read it too." Mark plopped down next to me, his presence comforting and familiar.
Nah, I prefer action-packed adventures. But tell me, did the detective catch the bad guy yet?
I giggled, engrossed in our playful banter. "Not yet. The detective is still on the hunt. I can't wait to find out who the culprit is." Little did I know that this simple exchange would mark the beginning of our shared love for storytelling and the strong bond that would guide us through the years to come. As we grew older, our relationship deepened. Mark became my confidant, always ready to listen without judgment. We trusted each other implicitly, sharing our dreams, fears, and secrets. We navigated the ups and downs of life together, finding solace in our unwavering support for one another. One summer day, as we sat on the porch swinging back and forth, Mark turned to me with a serious expression on his face.
"Sarah, I have something important to share," he began, his voice filled with anticipation.
I turned to face him, my curiosity piqued. "What is it, Mark? You know you can tell me anything." He took a deep breath before continuing, his eyes shining with excitement.
"I've met someone special, Sarah. Her name is Emily, and I'm gonna marry her."
My heart swelled with joy for my brother. "Oh, Mark, that's wonderful news. I'm so happy for you. When do I get to meet her?" He grinned, a mix of excitement and nervousness evident in his eyes.
"I was hoping you'd say that. You'll meet her this weekend. I know you'll love her as much as I do."
And just like that, our lives took a new turn. Emily entered our family with open arms, and her presence only strengthened our bond. We spent countless evenings laughing and sharing stories, creating a tapestry of memories that would last a lifetime. But the true testament of our bond came with the arrival of Mark and Emily's daughter, little Emma. From the moment I held her in my arms, my heart overflowed with love. It was as if she had always been a part of our lives, a beacon of joy in our midst. But the true testament came with the arrival of Mark and Emily's daughter, little Emma. From the moment I held her in my arms, my heart overflowed with love. It was as if she had always been a part of our lives, a beacon of joy in our midst. As we sat together on the porch swing, Emma cradled in my arms, Mark looked at me with tears glistening in his eyes. As we sat on the porch swing, Emma cradled in my arms, Mark looked at me with tears in his eyes.
"Thank you, Sarah," he whispered, his voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you for being the best sister and aunt anyone could ask for."
I hugged him tightly, tears of happiness streaming down my face. "No, Mark, thank you for trusting me with this precious gift. I promise to love and protect Emma with all my heart." And in that moment, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I knew that our loving bond would weather any storm that life threw our way. Little did I know that the true test of our bond was just around the corner, an unforeseen tragedy that would change our lives forever. The arrival of my niece, Emma, brought a wave of joy and excitement into our lives. As Mark and Emily settled into the rhythm of parenthood, I eagerly embraced my role as the doting aunt, ready to shower Emma with love and care. I remember the first time I held her tiny, delicate frame in my arms. Her big, curious eyes stared up at me, and my heart swelled with a love I had never experienced before. It was a love that transcended blood ties and made me feel as though Emma was my own. In those early days, I spent countless hours by her side, playing peekaboo, singing lullabies, and relishing every milestone she achieved. As she took her first steps, said her first words, and discovered the wonders of the world, I was there to witness it all. One sunny afternoon, as Emma and I sat in the backyard surrounded by blooming flowers, she pointed at a butterfly fluttering nearby.
"Auntie Sarah, what's that?" she asked, her eyes wide with curiosity.
I smiled, delighted by her inquisitiveness. "That's a butterfly, Emma. It's a beautiful insect with colorful wings that flies from flower to flower."
"Can I be a butterfly too, Auntie Sarah?"
I nodded, a twinkle in my eye. "Of course, my dear. You can be anything you want to be. Just spread your wings and soar. And in that moment, I made a silent promise to myself to nurture Emma's dreams, to be her guiding light, and to help her navigate the world with confidence and love. As the days turned into weeks and months, our bond grew stronger. Emma became my little shadow, following me around the house and insisting on being a part of every activity, whether it was baking cookies, tending to the garden, or simply cuddling on the couch. We were inseparable. One evening as I tucked Emma into bed, her sleepy eyes met mine.
Auntie Sarah, will you always be here with me? She whispered, her voice tinged with vulnerability.
I sat down on the edge of her bed, brushing a stray strand of hair away from her face. Forever and always, Emma, I reassured her, my voice filled with love. I'll be here through the good times and the bad, no matter what. You can count on me. A smile graced Emma's lips, and she wrapped her tiny arms around my neck in a tight embrace.
I love you, Auntie Sarah.
I love you too, my sweet Emma, I whispered, my voice filled with emotion. You've brought so much joy into our lives. And as I watched her drift off to sleep, a sense of gratitude washed over me. Gratitude for the precious bond we shared, for the opportunity to witness her growth, and for the unspoken promise I had made to her father, my dear brother, to protect and cherish his daughter. Little did I know that life would soon present us with a daunting challenge, one that would test our resilience and strength. But in that moment, all that mattered was the love between Emma and me, a love that would carry us through the storm that lay ahead. After the sudden departure of Emma's mother, Mark found himself facing the daunting task of single parenthood. Determined to give his daughter the love and stability she deserved, he embraced his new role with unwavering dedication. And by his side, I stood as his constant support. Days turned into nights, and Mark tirelessly juggled his responsibilities as a father and provider. He had to learn to navigate the complexities of diaper changes, midnight feedings, and the endless array of challenges that come with raising a child. But through it all, I was there, offering a helping hand and a listening ear. One evening as we sat at the kitchen table, Mark's tired eyes met mine, reflecting the weight of his newfound responsibilities. He sighed and ran a hand through his disheveled hair.
Sarah, I don't know how I can do this alone. It's overwhelming.
I reached across the table, placing my hand on his. You're not alone, Mark. We're in this together. We'll figure it out, step by step. And remember, you're an incredible father. Emma is lucky to have you. A faint smile appeared on his lips, gratitude shining in his eyes.
Thank you, Sarah. I don't know what I would do without you.
Together, we established a routine that helped ease the burden on Mark. I took on the role of a second parent, taking care of Emma when Mark had work commitments or needed a moment to recharge. We created a loving and nurturing environment for Emma, where she thrived under the combined love and attention of her father and me. As the months passed, Mark's love for his daughter grew deeper, and he found strength in the knowledge that he was providing her with a stable and loving home. We celebrated Emma's first birthday with balloons, a homemade cake, and a room filled with laughter. Mark looked at Emma, his heart swelling with pride.
Happy birthday, my little angel. You are the light of my life.
But just when life seemed to settle into a rhythm, an unexpected twist of fate shook our world once again. Mark was offered a business opportunity that required him to travel for an extended period. With a heavy heart, he turned to me, seeking my help.
Sarah, I don't know what to do, Mark confessed, his voice laced with worry. I have to go on this trip, but I can't bear to leave Emma alone. Will you take care of her for me? I trust you more than anyone else.
My heart ached for Mark, knowing the weight of his responsibilities and the love he held for his daughter. Without hesitation, I reassured him. Of course, Mark, I'll take care of Emma as if she were my own. You can count on me. Days turned into weeks, and Mark's absence lingered like an unwelcome cloud. Emma and I leaned on each other for support, finding solace in our shared memories of her father. I answered her innocent questions about her daddy's whereabouts, carefully crafting my words to shield her from the truth. I couldn't bear to tell her that he might never return. One evening, as Emma played with her toys, she looked up at me with her big, curious eyes.
Auntie Sarah, when is Daddy coming back? I miss him.
My heart tightened at the sight of her longing. I knelt down and pulled her into a gentle embrace. Daddy has some important work to do, sweetheart. He'll be back soon. He loves you very much.
I love Daddy too, Auntie Sarah. Can I give him a big hug when he comes back?
Tears welled up in my eyes, but I held them back, determined to stay strong for Emma. Yes, my love, you can give him the biggest hug when he comes back. He'll be so happy to see you. In that moment, I made a silent promise to myself to do everything in my power to protect Emma, to shield her from the pain and uncertainty that lay ahead. Mark's absence had left a void in our lives, but I would be the rock that held us together, the pillar of strength for Emma, until her father returned. In the wake of my brother's untimely passing, I found myself shouldering the weight of responsibility as Emma's sole caregiver. It was a daunting task, but I made a silent promise to myself and to Mark that I would protect and care for his daughter as if she were my own. Emma and I settled into a new routine, navigating the complexities of life without her father. Each day brought its own challenges, but together we forged ahead, our bond growing stronger with each passing moment. One evening, as Emma and I sat at the dinner table, her innocent eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and sadness. She looked up at me, her voice filled with longing.
Auntie Sarah, where's Daddy? When is he coming home?
My heart clenched at the pain in her voice, but I couldn't bear to lie to her any longer. I took a deep breath, bracing myself for the difficult conversation ahead. Emma, sweetheart, I need to tell you something important. My voice gentle, yet heavy with emotion.
What is it, Auntie Sarah?
Tears welled up in my eyes as I mustered the strength to utter the words. Daddy is not coming back, my love. He had an accident, and he's no longer with us. Emma's face turned pale, her small hands trembling.
But why? Where did he go?
I reached out and held her hands, my voice filled with love and compassion. He's in a special place now, watching over us from above. It's called heaven. Even though we can't see him, he will always be in our hearts, guiding us and loving us. Silence hung heavy in the air as Emma absorbed the weight of my words. I could see the flicker of understanding and sadness in her eyes, and my heart broke for the loss she had to bear at such a young age. With time, Emma's acceptance of her father's absence grew, and she began to find solace in the memories we shared. We spoke of his love, his laughter, and the moments we cherished together as a family. It became our way of keeping his spirit alive, but as Emma grew older, her curiosity about her father's absence lingered. One afternoon, she sat on the swing in our backyard, gazing into the distance. I joined her, quietly sharing her contemplative mood.
Auntie Sarah, do you think Daddy knows how much I miss him?
I placed a comforting hand on her shoulder, offering her the reassurance she sought. Of course, Emma, your daddy knows. He's always watching over you, and I'm certain he feels the love and longing in your heart. You are his greatest joy, and he continues to be proud of you from wherever he is.
Emma leaned into me, finding comfort in our shared understanding.
I wish he could be here with us, Auntie Sarah. I miss him so much. Tears welled up in my eyes as I held her close, my voice filled with both sorrow and love. I know, my dear. We all miss him. But remember, he lives on in our hearts and in the memories we hold dear. And we will honor his memory by living our lives with love, courage, and strength. In that moment, a silent understanding passed between us. Our unspoken promise to Mark was renewed. I would be there for Emma, guiding her through life's challenges, nurturing her dreams, and reminding her of the love her father had for her. And in return, she would carry his legacy, embodying the resilience and spirit that he instilled within her. Together, we embarked on a journey of healing and growth, bound by the silent promise we made to each other, and to the father we both held dear. In the aftermath of Mark's passing, Emma and I faced an uphill battle in our journey together. We were not only grappling with the emotional void left by his absence, but we also had to confront the challenges that came with the disapproval and hostility from our own family. Living in my parents' house, we hoped for support and understanding from those closest to us. However, it soon became clear that they held a different view. They saw Emma as a burden, an inconvenience that disrupted their lives. Their lack of empathy and compassion for a grieving child struck me deeply. One evening, as we gathered for dinner, tension hung thick in the air. My parents exchanged disapproving glances whenever Emma spoke or made a playful noise. It was as if they resented her presence, as if she was a constant reminder of their disappointment in my brother's choices.
Emma looked up at me, her innocent eyes searching for reassurance. Sensing her discomfort, I gently squeezed her hand under the table, silently letting her know that I was there for her.
But the weight of their disapproval became too much to bear.
My father's voice boomed across the table, filled with disdain. Sarah, this is getting out of hand. We can't keep supporting Mark's child. It's too expensive and disruptive. It's time to face reality.
Anger flared within me, but I composed myself, determined to protect Emma from their cruelty. She is not just Mark's child, Dad. She is my niece, and she is family. We have a responsibility to care for her, to love her.
You're being naive, Sarah. It's time to consider what's best for everyone. Maybe it's time to think about giving her up, sending her to an orphanage.
The room fell silent as those words hung in the air, a painful reminder of the lack of empathy and compassion within my own family.
Emma's eyes filled with tears, her innocence shattered by their callousness.
I stood up from the table, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and determination. No, I won't allow that. Emma is my responsibility, and I will protect her with everything I have. She deserves love, stability, and a chance to thrive. From that moment on, I made it my mission to shield Emma from the toxic environment she was exposed to. I sought legal counsel to secure her guardianship, ensuring that her well-being was protected by the law. It was an uphill battle, fighting against not only societal prejudices, but also the disapproval of my own family. As the months turned into years, I faced countless hurdles, battling judgment, financial strain, and emotional exhaustion. But I persevered, fueled by the love for Emma and the unwavering belief that every child deserves a chance to flourish. In the face of adversity, Emma proved to be a resilient and strong young girl. She faced the hostility head-on, refusing to let it define her. Together, we created a safe haven within the walls of our home where love, acceptance, and support reigned supreme. One evening, as Emma and I sat on her bed, the weight of our journey etched into our weary souls, she turned to me with a bittersweet smile.
Auntie Sarah, why do they treat me this way? What did I do wrong?
I pulled her close, my heart breaking for the pain she had endured. Oh, my dear Emma, it's not your fault. Sometimes people can be unkind, but we can't let their negativity define us. We have each other, and we will continue to fight for what's right no matter what.
Emma's eyes filled with determination, her voice stronger than ever. I won't let them break me, Auntie Sarah. I'm stronger than that, and one day, they'll see how wrong they were.
Tears of pride and love welled up in my eyes as I hugged her tightly. You're right, my brave girl. We will rise above their negativity, and will create a beautiful life for ourselves, built on love and resilience. Together, we faced the uphill battles that life threw our way, hand in hand, determined to forge our own path. The hostility of our family would not define us or break us. We would continue to persevere, protecting each other and nurturing the loving bond that had carried us through the darkest of times. As Emma and I persevered through the uphill battles we faced, little did we know that a bittersweet revelation awaited us. One that would change our lives once again. It was a turning point, where past struggles would collide with unexpected fortune. One sunny afternoon, as Emma and I were tidying up our humble home, the phone rang. I answered it, curious about the unexpected interruption to our routine. A lawyer's voice filled the line, introducing himself as the executor of Mark's will. He explained that Mark had left behind a substantial inheritance for Emma, a testament to his love and belief in her future. My heart raced with a mix of anticipation and trepidation as the lawyer revealed the astonishing amount, $1 million. Stunned, I struggled to comprehend the magnitude of this unexpected turn of events. Emma's future suddenly seemed brighter, filled with endless possibilities. But alongside the hope, a tinge of sadness lingered, knowing that Mark couldn't be there to witness his daughter's good fortune. I gathered my thoughts and made arrangements to meet with the lawyer to discuss the details. The weight of responsibility settled upon my shoulders once again. It was not only my duty to protect Emma's inheritance, but also to guide her in navigating the complexities of newfound wealth. In the days that followed, Emma and I sat at the kitchen table, poring over legal documents and financial matters. Emma's eyes widened with a mix of awe and confusion as she struggled to grasp the enormity of her inheritance. The weight of her emotions spilled over, and she turned to me, seeking guidance.
Auntie Sarah, what does this mean? Emma asked, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and uncertainty. What do I do with all this money?
I took a deep breath, embracing the opportunity to teach Emma about financial responsibility and the power of giving. Emma, this money is a gift from your father. It can provide us with security and open doors for your future. But remember, money is a tool, not the measure of our worth. We must use it wisely and with purpose. Emma nodded, her gaze fixed on the stack of papers before her.
I want to honor Daddy's memory, Auntie Sarah. I want to do something meaningful with this money.
A surge of pride washed over me as I witnessed the maturity and compassion in Emma's words. I knew then that Mark's legacy would live on through her. Together we crafted a plan to make a difference, to create a positive impact in the lives of others, just as Mark had done for us. With Emma's inheritance, we established a foundation dedicated to supporting causes close to our hearts: education, children's welfare, and providing opportunities for those less fortunate. It became our mission to give back, to share the blessings we had received with those who needed it most. News of Emma's inheritance soon reached the ears of our family, triggering a whirlwind of emotions and conflicting desires. They saw her newfound wealth as an opportunity to claim their own share, blinded by their previous disinterest and mistreatment of her. One evening, my parents confronted me, their voices tinged with greed and entitlement.
Sarah, this money rightfully belongs to us too. We are family, after all. We deserve a share.
I locked eyes with them, my voice firm yet resolute. No, Mom and Dad. Emma's inheritance is not an entitlement for anyone but her. She's endured years of mistreatment and hardship at your hands. This is her chance for justice, for a brighter future. My mother's face twisted with anger, her voice dripping with venom.
You've always been selfish, Sarah, putting her before your own parents. It's just money after all.
I took a step closer, my voice steady with determination. It's not just money, Mom. It's a symbol of the love Mark had for his daughter, and the sacrifices I've made to protect and provide for her. Emma and I will use this inheritance to build a better life, just as Mark would have wanted. And with those words, I turned away, refusing to let their bitterness and greed taint our newfound fortune. Emma and I moved into a new house, a place filled with love and warmth, far away from the toxic environment we had endured for far too long. In the quiet moments, as we settled into our new home, Emma approached me, her eyes shining with gratitude.
Auntie Sarah, I want you to know that I'm so glad you're my mom. You've loved and protected me when no one else did. I want to share this money with you because you've been my family from the beginning.
Tears streamed down my face as I embraced Emma tightly, overwhelmed by her love and recognition. In that moment, I knew that our journey, filled with its ups and downs, had brought us to a place of strength and resilience. Together we forged ahead, utilizing the unexpected fortune to make a difference, to build a future filled with love, compassion, and generosity. And as we walked hand in hand, I knew that Mark's spirit lived on through us, guiding us towards a life that honored his memory and embraced the power of love and resilience.